Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Carla. And today we're going to be doing a Hollywood analysis of another show on Netflix. And the title of the show is called The Last Kingdom. If you've heard of that show and you may know or watched it, you may know what I'm going to talk about. If not, if you are interested in medieval England, history, this lovely crown, or disability in terms of representation in Hollywood, please stay tuned. This video is for you. So, I am so excited to talk about this. It's not going to be too long of a video, but I just wanted to say that there are going to be spoiler alerts in this video about that show, and that's about it. And just to let you know what it's going to be about, I'm going to talk about the character storyline and that character and storyline's impact on the disabled community. So without further ado, let's get started. So this show is actually in its final season, and the character in question I want to talk about, her name is Ethelfled. She is the Queen of Mercia in this season, final season, and we are introduced to her being a queen, reading, and also she seems to be in a little bit of pain. But let me just give a little bit of background on this character, just briefly. This character is the daughter of a king named King Alfred the Great. He also was trying to unite the kingdoms. Never even thought about where United Kingdom, where that name came from, or if there was any meaning behind that name. So definitely nice to see a little bit of history and also entertainment. All right, back to Ethelfled. So again, in this season, she seems like she's in some pain when we're introduced to the character. In episode 3 or 4, I can't remember which one, sorry. But in one of those episodes, we're introduced to Ethelfled and her meeting with a healer named Edith. And healer is just old school for like a nurse or a doctor. So we see Ethelfled meeting with Edith, and she is removing one of her undergarment layers, and Edith is looking at her breast. And we don't see any of that, but you can just sort of tell by the scene she's examining her breast, and they're talking about some growth, and Ethelfled mentions she's had this growth. It started about a year ago, and then admits that it's grown rather quickly. And one scene in particular, one line of that scene, Edith mentions how she really wishes that Ethelfled would have shown that lump or shown her breast to someone earlier. So I guess by the time she's becoming involved in the situation, the lump is big, and she seems very worried for Ethelfled. And in this scene, Ethelfled is saying she's a queen, and I do want to give a little bit of a side note. She was one of the first queen of that kingdom, and there weren't many queens back then at all. So kudos on the author of the book that this series is based on, and kudos to the writers and everyone involved for bringing this story to life in terms of a woman in true power. So, okay, back to the analysis. Edith mentions there was really nothing she could do, and Ethelfled was challenging her skills initially. Then saying she was ready to undergo their version of surgery or to do something to stop it. And what really struck me as to why that this series, in particular this season, caught my attention because of this woman in power. She mentioned she didn't want to go to a healer or anyone because she was afraid of what would happen in her kingdom and the civil unrest, and she just wasn't sure what would happen if she were gone. And in conclusion of that scene with those two characters, she starts to say all the things she still has to do for the day and really for her kingdom, planning some peace missions and other talks about her kingdom and her job. And this woman, Lady Edith, is mentioning she should really try to spend as much time with her family, alluding to she doesn't have much time left. And she just continues on and ends that scene meeting with someone to continue on her queenly duties. And in the next scene, or a couple scenes later, she's talking to one of her trusted advisors and saying how she truly saw her father going through sickness, illness. In the series, we do see her father go through a sickness himself. A name is not really given to it, but it is alluded to him. We do see the height of his power and success, and we do see him becoming ill and gradually passing away. So, and I just thought that was important to mention. In fact, that those episodes previously in terms of this series, that she does mention that strength in her example of her father in terms of strength and carrying on. So that is pretty much all I wanted to say. A lot of blow by blow of this scene, but I really thought these things were important to mention just to talk about the impact to the disabled community. And it caught my attention being a woman and a woman in power, and in particular how many women in power would feel that way even nowadays. If they were to feel sick or ill, do we have time to take off? I know when I was working in corporate America and otherwise, I felt like taking time off, you didn't know what would happen when you got back, or if there were even whispers or rumors of you being ill, how would that be perceived? And I just wanted to throw this question out there. What does that say about our society, and in particular us as women? I do want to go back to the series briefly, I promise. That character, Ethel Fled, does have a daughter, and that relationship is, we do see that relationship unfold as well in terms of her interaction with her daughter when she's first finding out she's sick, and then later in the series. I'm not going to give any more spoiler alerts away. That's it. But yeah, so what does this stuff mean in terms of, I guess, the disabled community and really the community at large, and how many women in particular have to forego their health and warning signs to keep their power, and what a scary place that is to be, and how much can be prevented if we were to have that ability to kind of take care of ourselves and heed those warning signs. It's such a catch-22, but it's so real, and I know it happens to so many women. How would we feel? We think many women in power are just so invincible. Oprah, even Ellen, and Hillary Clinton. Can we imagine them sick or anything? It's like, no, never. They're super women, but we're all human that I know of, and we just really do have to take care of ourselves and trust that things will fall into place the way that they're supposed to. And at the end of the day, family is so important. The most important thing that you will have, and your most lasting legacy will be your family. Pretty much. So, yeah, but anyway, that's why I have this crown on, because many of us are like queens, either in our homes or on our jobs, and we definitely carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. And I don't know if there's one answer to this, but like I said, in watching that series, I thought, my God, well, a couple of things. Number one, issues and health concerns regarding a woman and her breast has been going on probably since the beginning of time. It's just really captivating to see that captured on film, basically in that era. And it was a known issue that breasts do develop into health concerns. So I just want to sort of end this video more positive and proactive. So, please, let's just uplift each other, support each other, and take care of each other as women, and also those that identify as women and are women lovers. Hopefully that encompasses everyone on earth. So please take care of yourself, heed those warning signs. Your life and your legacy will not crumble if you are ill. So please get checked out. Before I end this video, I just would like to ask you, viewer, do you know about a self-breast exam? Do you know how to do one? Have you ever had one? Are you eligible to get a breast exam? Please be healthy and be in tune with your body, and follow up with your doctor about your breast health. I'm wearing this lovely shawl to emulate that era. She had on one of these fur shawls. That's how they kept warm. I'm really warm. So yes, and this beautiful crown is just representing the queenliness within us all. And lastly, this color is for breast cancer awareness. Again, please be mindful of your breast health, and even if you have a woman that you know and love, or you are a male or identify as male, please remind the women in your life to make their breast health a priority. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. This is Courageous Carla. What you think about this topic? Did you see the show? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a like. And please, if you have not already, hit the subscribe button right now so that you are up to date on videos and help me grow this channel. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your viewing. Have a wonderful day. Be safe. Carpe diem. Goodbye.